Okay people, talk to me. When is it going to be the time that we cancel this team in Formula 1? Alpine are the worst team in Formula 1 history, and it's not because of performances, it's not because of the lack of titles, because they've got their titles, they've had them in the past. But why is it every single season we have more shenanigan after shenanigan when it comes to the French outfit? There are so many reasons as to why Alpine should not be in Formula 1 anymore. I seem to make a rant about this team every single season from one thing after another, whether it's sackings, whether it's people leaving, and would you believe it, they managed to do 2 in the same week. Oliver Oakes has resigned as team principal of Alpine with immediate effect, which means executive advisor Flavio Briatore, remember that man? Well, he is back in business, and yes, I know he's been in the pipeline for the last couple of seasons, but now he's taking on the role that Oliver Oakes has left. And without even thinking or breathing, within the next few minutes, guess what happened? Jack Doohan has lost his seat. And the crazy thing is, this isn't permanently. What do I mean? Franco Colapinto, yes, that man that was waiting on the wings, the reserve driver for Alpine, has now got his chance for 5 races. The strangest thing is, Colapinto has been brought in for 5 races, I guess, to see how he gets on. And like, if he doesn't perform well, what does that mean? Jack Doohan comes back into the side? This is the thing I can't understand about Alpine. I mean, the list goes on for the craziness that they've been up to. I go back to 2008, okay? Crashgate 2008. Now, in case you wasn't watching Formula 1 at that point in time, would you believe that a team told a driver, their own driver, to crash on purpose? It sounds ridiculous, it sounds bonkers, but people, guess what? This actually happened. Nelson Piquet Jr. was told to crash on purpose at the Singapore Grand Prix. Now, rumor has it, not sure how true this is, but they practiced this even in the formation lap. I tried to check, no confirmation on that whatsoever. However, this was something that they had planned long ago. And the reason for the planned crash was just so that Fernando Alonso could get points. And not only did he get points, but the guy won the bloody race. And the crazy thing is, the only reason this story came out is because the following season, mid-season in 2009, Renault released Nelson Piquet, and Nelson Piquet grassing up the scene. And following all this investigation, I think Renault got banned at one point. Flavio Briatore, who is now the man in charge today, who was the man in charge at that time, was banned from Formula 1 for life. But after court hearings and all sorts, they then reversed it years later, and that's why you see this man here today. But remember in 2020, Cyril Abiteboul, a man that we fundamentally loved, this man betted against his own drivers that they wouldn't even get on the podium. He said if they got on the podium that he would get a tattoo. I made a video about it. In fact, it's my most popular video at this moment in time. But that's correct. The guy betted against his own drivers, who at the time were Nico Hülkenberg and Danny Ricciardo, saying these men will not get a podium, and if they do, he will get a tattoo. This is a man who does not like tattoos, a man who hasn't got an ounce of tattoos on his body, but lo and behold, he put that all on the line if Renault got a podium. Remember the 100 races project? Absolutely. Laurent Rossi, yeah, we can't forget you, another man that was in Formula 1 in the Alpine team, who said, look, there's a project going on, 100 races, and we'll see where Alpine will be at this stage in time. They had the rebrand, and even since the rebrand in 2021, it's been shenanigan after shenanigan with this side. Otmar Safnauer, remember him? Yes, absolutely. The man who was fired in the week of the Belgian Grand Prix, still turned up to the Belgian Grand Prix, managing the team. Bizarre circumstances. Oscar Piastri, did you guys forget that this guy was a junior driver for Renault, and the man in his sleep was being said that he will be the next Alpine driver? The guy wakes up, he says absolutely not, don't know where these rumors have come from, and the rumors coming from his own team. And yet the guy said, I've had enough, I am not dealing with these shenanigans, and he got the hell out of Dodge from that Alpine team. Lo and behold, look at him now winning Grand Prix races with McLaren. Oh, what a move that was from Oscar Piastri. Fernando Alonso as well, he even packed up his cases and said, listen, I'm not going to be here wasting time with these shenanigans. I'm getting the hell out of Dodge. As soon as Sebastian Vettel announced that he was leaving Aston Martin and retiring from Formula 1, guess what Fernando Alonso did? And bear in mind, the Aston Martin then, it wasn't the Aston Martin after he joined and started doing good and started doing well on the podiums. No. Aston Martin was sticking up the joint like they are now. But the man said, I need to get the hell out of Alpine and jump into that Aston Martin just for some seriousness. Doesn't end there. Do you remember Esteban Ocon and Pierre Gasly not long ago were teammates? 2 people that didn't like each other, 2 people who grew up as friends in the beginning but ended up hating each other. They had both drivers in the Renault seat. I get it, French connection, it makes all perfect sense, but my God, they still had issues even as teammates. Can't forget the Monaco Grand Prix, can we? And so much so, do you remember the end of the 2024 season? It's quite easy to forget. Jack Doohan was actually racing for Alpine at the last race in Abu Dhabi. Why? Because they sacked Esteban Ocon a race before he was meant to leave. Honestly, you couldn't make this up. the most dysfunctional team in Formula 1, the most shocking, shambolic, chaotic team in Formula 1, because they just can't be serious. They can't seem to get their finger out and actually do something properly. And here's the thing, this is the Renault team, okay? They've got Renault engines. Not anymore. Next season, they're going to the Mercedes engine. So a team who manufactures cars, a team who manufactures engines, are not even going to be using their own engines. Thank God that they actually changed the name, because imagine being called Renault with a Mercedes engine next season. And to all those poor people who worked on the Renault engine for 2026, what are they doing now? I'm sorry to say this team is a shambolic institution, okay? Renault, Alpine, you lot should have been gone from Formula 1 a long time ago. And we're out here struggling to get 11 teams into Formula 1. Thank God Cadillac had finally got the go-ahead. But my goodness, it cost them an arm and a leg. And what on earth does this mean? 5 races for Colapinto. So if Colapinto stinks, does Jack Doohan come back into the place? Do they have somebody else in mind? And listen, the story isn't over with Oliver Oakes, okay? You can't just leave the way he just left, okay? He just took on the job as team principal, and you're telling me he's leaving after however many months, and with immediate effect? Something is smelling, okay? There is still more to this story, and that's what makes this whole situation hilarious. Now, Flavio Briatore, a guy that I actually genuinely like, because when he was in Formula 1, he was about that business. Now, people can still call him a cheat, and I totally understand it. I won't argue against it. In fact, the guy still denies it to this very day. What's crazy is he hasn't even repented for the fact that he's asked his own driver to crash on purpose to give Fernando points, even a win. But the man is back here in Formula 1. We should all believe in forgiveness. We should all believe in redemption. But my God, the story does not end here. And let me tell you something, Flavio Briatore, whether good or bad, the man is box office. And the only reason I would let Alpine or Renault be in Formula 1 to this very day is because that man, Flavio Briatore, is at the helm. I can't wait to see what happens with this Alpine team, and no doubt there'll be more stories coming out of this side. But this team is shambolic. This team is chaos. This team is the most unserious team in Formula 1. Will they ever do well in Formula 1 again? I doubt it. And of the 3 drivers they've now had, who would be the best driver by the end of the season? Will it be Pierre Gasly? Will it be Jack Doohan? Or will it be Franco Colapinto? Comment down below if you think Alpine should be in Formula 1. And if you think they should, give your reasons why. Look, Alpine, I've had enough of this team, okay? But hopefully you haven't had enough of these videos. YouTube thinks you'll like this video over here, or you can check out my latest video right over here. And until next time, lights out.